Alright, so
Fight Club
is a film that is very fun, but I wouldn't recommend it.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about
Fight Club is definitely one of my top 3 films of all time, so maybe let's save my review for last. Fight Club is a film directed by David Fincher, but it's also based on the book by Chuck Palahniuk. And, it's just a film where 2 bros, start Fight Club, there's some action in it, it's pretty sick. But this ain't no regular action movie film noir, no. Like basically all David Fincher's movies. It's pretty gritty. And it's a mind-bending thriller. So, without further ado, here's my review. Characters. There are 3 main characters I'm going to talk about because most of the other characters are off to the side somewhere doing, their own thing. So, if you're Meryl Streep's skeleton or blonde Jared Leto, you're sadly not going to make the cut. But I'll very briefly talk about Bob. He's definitely a comedic, lovable character, and Meatball plays this character perfectly. Rest in peace. Wow, that was more brief than I thought it'd be. The 3 main characters I'm going to talk about are Tyler Durden, the narrator, and Marla Singer. All of these actors are perfectly casted. Marla is definitely a very promiscuous character, and Helena Bonham Carter plays her perfectly. In this role, she plays a perfect mixture of Miss Lovett from Sweeney Todd and Bellatrix from Harry Potter, which is a film franchise I've never really liked, but respect the effort given by the actors. I say they're a mixture because both/all of these characters are in a relationship with a broken or evil scumbag. And next we have the narrator, played by Edward Norton, who doesn't actually have his own name. What makes this performance so impressive is how he plays such a weak character. And due to my recent viewing of American History X, going back to this film and seeing the skinniness is really unusual. Especially because the films are 2 seconds. 1 year apart? What? Like, this literally baffles me. Like, have you seen American History X? This guy is this guy. And also this guy, by the way. Here's the part where I give a detail that's put in the film. I'm going to do this a lot. There is actually a subtle detail where Norton becomes skinnier and Tyler/Brad Pitt gets stronger as the film goes on. Wow, mind blown. Just wow. I'll bring up American History X when I get to Tyler, by the way. Which is right now. I saved Tyler Durden for last because out of all the actors, Brad Pitt is definitely the best actor to be casted for the role ever. I say this because it's like an inside joke. However, the reasoning for my saying of this is Brad Pitt is already basically loved anyway, so that makes you like Tyler, even though, let's be honest, he's a terrorist and an imaginary friend, but I'm not contrasting the 2.
GirlMovie animations.
No.
I'll savor it first.
Anyway, odds are you really like Tyler Durden. I mean, he's just comedic, he's like masculine, and that's how he persuades people to start the Fight Club. Now, let me just say, I am also talking about the narrator, and these are just my interpretations, and they might get a bit, messy and complicated and, controversial, but this is just my opinion on this whole film. To be honest, I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is my American History X tie-in, improvised, because this is my second attempt, and this was in the original voice recording, but I'm redoing it now, because I thought that it didn't really make sense, to be fair. Tyler Durden and the narrator persuade people to go into a fight club, and in the same way that Derek Vineyard makes people racist and, fuels that kind of hatred toward others. Alright, let me just explain. Tyler Durden and Derek's fathers are awful people. They cause these films, basically. And Tyler Durden is hinted to have grown up in a mental institution. And that makes those two characters who they are, why they hate societal issues, and why they hate people. Both of these characters don't think they are doing anything wrong, but then kind of get a, reality check. These are both quite different, but it all stems to the same thing, basically. They realise that they've done something wrong. Well, the narrator gets rid of Tyler, and Derek Vineyard realises that he's been put in jail for 3 years for killing a bunch of people, and this African-American character has been put in for 6 years for just stealing a TV. Both of these characters get punished in some form of way, because if you stop spewing out your beliefs to the people that support you, they'll turn on you. Also, I'm not saying masculinity is a bad thing. I'm saying that this distorted view on masculinity, being toxic masculinity, that's not okay. I would name some people, and you'll probably know who I'm talking about anyway, but I don't want to give them any more credit than they're already getting. What I'm trying to say is that both of these characters express themselves through violent and just awful ways. They both want belonging, but they're not doing it in the right way. Just because you go and victimize people doesn't mean that society will just change. Of course, that has happened in the past, and it will continue forever. But what I'm trying to get at here is you need to know the effects that these topics have. And if you're ever feeling this way, seek help before you go over the edge into the unknown. Alright, now you can go back to the past. I'm going to talk about something soothing. That being the soundtrack. The key main scenes I am going to talk about, since, a lot of the other music is just, put in the background somewhere, is for the beginning scene and the ending scene. And getting the obvious one out of the way, Where Is My Mind by the Pixies is the best song choice. It does exactly what a soundtrack should do. Makes you reflect, feel the emotion that were felt through the film. Also, it's a very good song. I might, listen to it from time to time and just think about watching Fight Club, even though I don't have enough time to watch Fight Club. For the beginning, what I really like is how it gives you a hint of how the film will make you feel. You see, the film starts with classical music and switches up with one of those record scratchers to heavy rock music subverting expectations, which is a bit like the Blu-ray loading screen for the film. When you open it, it literally puts the front thingy to, the film where you play subtitles and stuff. It shows Legally Blonde or some other, I don't know, rom-com. I don't know a lot about that genre. And keeping on the subject of sound, Norton's voiceovers are like ASMR to me. Sure, they're really depressing, but for some reason it just really makes me feel relaxed. I don't know why. But also, it's used through the film, and it's a really clever way of self-awareness. And talking about the beginning, let's talk about visuals, which is the next subject, but I'm going to keep the beginning scene in this, if you get what I'm saying. The beginning credits are sick. It's cool and stuff. And I don't know, it's just one of those credits that I can't skip. Cinematography. Even though I'd love to talk about the cinematography for longer, we don't have enough time. We have to hear my review. Anyway, I love the unique visual style of the film. It just perfectly pictures film noir beautifully. The low-key lighting and gritty dark lighting. I just realised that I wrote the same thing in the script twice. Anyway, to me, yesterday, it's just everything. Here's some shots. It literally just says, put in these shots. Wait, isn't that the thumbnail? No, we have to take this down now. Take this downstairs to the review room. Okay, so it's finally time for the review. I personally had the film get spoiled for me, but I still loved it. The film had been on my radar for a long time. I mean, you don't even have to watch the film to know about the quote.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
But anyway, I was in the state of mind. The film would be too long for me. But it's the 1 3-hour film I've watched 4 times. Yes, 4 times. And each one, I've noticed something new. Like how the narrator sees an ad for the restaurant Tyler works at. That was, like, a bit subtle. And I only just realised that recently. The cogs weren't really turning in the first 3 viewings. Another detail is how the phone Tyler rings back doesn't receive calls, and how Tyler leaves a, let's just say, contribution to the end of the film. Also, the one thing that gets me every time I watch it is the dark comedy and humour. I like a lot of dark comedy TV shows and films, but Fight Club has such a charm about it. Alright, this is my last point because of the contribution of the 8 pages I've made. The execution of the twist is great, whether or not being spoiled or not. Like, I don't know, it's so obvious when you watch it like another time. Even though I did notice the few things in the first time watching, because as I've said, I was spoiled. I don't know, it's just the whole scene of Edward Norton going to all these different countries, and especially the hotel room scene. It's just, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's really well executed. Alright, before I do my signing off, but all of the David Fincher films I've watched, they've all been brilliant. Like, even though I've only watched 2. Bit embarrassing. Seven and Gone Girl are just, like, amazing in their own rights. 7 was more special for me, though, because the trailers were awesome. It just reminds me of the original Dawn of the Dead by George A. Romero.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Weird contrasting a zombie film to a very dark, gritty detective film noir movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gone Girl was, like, amazing, but it wasn't on the level as 7 or Fight Club. And that has been Raccoon Tunes. Or James, if you're a friend. I don't know. So if you did enjoy this video, like it, support in any way you can. It doesn't really matter, I just make these videos for fun in general. So I don't really care about popularity anymore. I have bought the book for Fight Club and A Clockwork Orange, if you ever want me to make a review on books, because books are my speciality. So if you would like to see that, just leave a comment or something. And just thank you for watching this video for its entirety. It's took a lot of time and a lot of my storage. There's a lot of clearing out that I have to do, but it was worth it. So I hope you enjoy my interpretations on Fight Club and my review on Fight Club. And while you're at it, just tell me your opinion on the film in the comments if you want. If you're like a film buff, like some people I know. I'm looking in the mirror right now. And just in general, have a good day, evening, or night. I'll see you.
Okay, you are now firing a gun at your imaginary friend, Tyler!